Good evening. I'm going to talk about abortions. I know everyone thinks that they're fighting for women's rights, but they're not. I had a quantum healing hypnosis session December 2023. This is going to be a long video because I'm going to read that session. So, my hypnosis, I have her here as the letter E. Her name is Emma. But I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between Emma and myself. And I'm going to do the best that I can. So she starts out, scan the body and let me know if anything comes up that needs to be released. Oh, I have to go to the clinic. I have to go to the clinic where I had an abortion in Flint, Michigan. So I have to talk about what I remember. E. Very good. When you're ready. Oh, they didn't even put me to sleep. They just ripped her right out of me. I could feel all the pain. There was more than one entity that came through. There were two entities that came through that doctor that performed the abortion, because that doctor was not a good person. Not just because he performed abortions, because he was, at this point, I'm scanning and I'm waiting for information. He was just bad, something. He was just a bad human. Now I'm being protected from the truth regarding this entity. The information was blocked. There were several entities attached to that doctor. I had two entities come through when I was screaming. After the procedure, I was in a room with lawn chairs. There's people walking around, other women that just had abortions. They're acting like nothing ever happened, and I was lying there. I thought I was dying because I couldn't move. I couldn't move. I was in so much pain. No one was checking on me. The pain was so unbearable. Oh, my mother. My poor mother. She would have rather risked my life than to deal with my father if he found out I was pregnant. These entities attached themselves and came through that doctor up through my uterus. They have tentacles that have branched out and created endometriosis. They've wrapped themselves around my ovaries and my cervix, also my intestines. People need to understand these abortions do far greater damage than just to the infants. I'm going to bring forth a child that was involved in this trauma. The child comes through and speaks. I knew that I was not going to be born, but I didn't expect to be loved or wanted. I had to experience what it was like to die in this matter, because I inflicted this type of procedures on others in another lifetime. May I continue? Oh, yes, you may. Teresa has carried guilt all of her life because she wanted me so bad, but she doesn't realize that she helped me with my experience. Because of this experience, I will never perform these types of procedures on anyone ever again. E. Very good. The entities must go. Teresa must understand that I'm okay. At this point, I'm crying. E. May I ask the little baby, did you cross over quickly? Me. No, very tragically. I was ripped to pieces. They ripped me to pieces. There was no safe water solution abortion. Actually, none of them are good. The humans on Earth need to understand that We need to move away from this. It's a 3D reality that is not going up into the fourth and fifth dimensions. It's very important to understand what it does to the human body, not just to the baby, but also to the mother. The attachments, how they spread out and grab onto all kinds of things. Oh my God, they've wrapped themselves around the intestines, causing constipation. Teresa had to have a hysterectomy and lost her uterus at the age of 42. They created ovarian cyst, severe PMS, heavy menstrual cycles. They've disrupted her hormones tremendously. When we disrupt nature, we disrupt nature. There are consequences. But when a person has a miscarriage, that is the body's natural way, a natural occurring thing. Yes, it is sad to lose a baby, but the body is naturally doing it. But when you rip a baby out of the body, it is like a bad car accident. You are not the same. It is a shock. Yes, it is a shock. That doctor released a lot of entities to a lot of his patients. Oh, he's gone now. Of course he's gone. Nobody talked about it. Nobody. And Teresa was never able to deal with it. She never dealt with it. She just had to brush it off like nothing ever happened. Clearly something happened, and she had suppressed all emotions. Yes, so before we remove the entities that are attached, I'd like to know if we can help the little baby put all of her bits and pieces back together and send her to the light. At the time, I was still focused on the entities. These entities, I'm scanning. Oh, they're so ugly. They're ugly. How do I say this? They're like smartasses. They're giving me the impression that they'll say, yes, we will leave here, but we will just go jump and attach to another. So I think what I am trying to say is that we need to make sure that they don't attach themselves to someone else. Does that make sense? Yes, perfect. Emma's calling upon the archangels at this time to surround me in protection and make sure that the entities are unable to leave. She says Archangel Michael's net is in place. Oh, they're not happy. At this point, I'm in a great deal of discomfort in my pelvic area. I'd like to give them a chance to speak. Would these entities like to speak to us today? Because we are here to help. We would like to help guide you back to the light. Oh, they don't understand the light. They have forgotten the light. They feel like they're convinced we are going to kill them. I would like to talk to them, and I can show them that they have their own light. They must have forgotten that every entity has their own light. They need to be cut free from the doctor. They need to be cut free from that doctor. They need to understand that they can do that. Yes. They need to understand they can be cut free from that doctor. They don't... Let me talk to them for a minute. Very good. I cannot have you holding on to me any longer. I'm 60 years old. I need that chakra cleared. The doctor does not have power over you. You must understand the doctor does not have power over you. Do you wish to continue on this route? Because it is not serving anyone. There is light. I am pointing to the right. I can see there's a door so beautiful over there. The doctor is not there. The entities are talking back and forth. Very good. Me. They want to believe me. E. Yes. If they're willing, I can have the archangels that are standing all around to help them, to show them their light. They have light of their own. They have their own light and their own power. They do not need to be attached to you nor anyone. Me. I think they are agreeing. One has more compassion for me than the other. The other has never had compassion for me. E. These entities, have they ever had a human body? I'm scanning. I don't feel like they've ever been human. They've always been attached to evil. Yes, evil. I say it. They don't like that word. They say they are only trying to survive. Well, you're parasites. And that is not surviving. E. Yes. They have been fooled like the rest of us. They have been made to believe this is the only way to survive, and they have forgotten that they have their own light. Me. Do you hear her? E is speaking to the entities. You have your own light within. They have never heard such words. E. We are all part of the light. So I'm going to ask the archangels that are all around to shine some of that light on this one. And these entities, if they look deep, deep within, they will be able to find that spark. Me. The light is so bright for them, they don't know how to handle it. Try to feel the energy of the light. Just feel it. E. Yes, the spark is within them. And if they focus on it, they will begin to see that it feels like home. They have forgotten it because they've been tricked and fooled and wrapped into a cycle of dark for so long they have forgotten their light. That spark is within each and every one of them. Me, I'm scanning. The one on the right, I see the one on the right. The one on the left, and there's one on the right. Oh my God, you guys are so ugly. You are so ugly. I don't even know how to describe them. But the one on the left has a little bit of compassion. He says he has learned some compassion through my life. The one on the right is stubborn, but he is listening to everything that you are saying. E. Good. So I'm speaking to these entities now, both of you. We can release you today back to the light. There's nothing to fear. And after you have been released back to the light, you will have an opportunity through free will to have your own life as a human, if you'd like to. Can you understand that being attached to this one is not good for you or her? And you do not have your own life and control of your own life being attached to this one. Would it not be better to be released? Do you not want your own freedom? Because we can give that to you today. Me. The one on the right is not convinced that the doctor is not on the other side of the door. I explain. He's not there. He's not there. The doctor's not there. The one on the left has agreed to take the one on the right to the door. But he says they will jump back if the doctor's there. I'm shaking my head and pointing to the right side towards the ceiling where I could see the door. E. Very good. They're going to go with an agreement that they will jump back if they see the doctor. E. So I'm going to just ask Archangel Michael to assist us with this because he knows the best way to get them back there and the safest way. So I have placed the net around the entire way of this one's field. I'm calling upon Michael. He's going to take all of you out in his net of light, and he's going to help escort you back to the light. Once you are there, you're going to see there has never been anything to fear. Are they in an agreement? At this point, my body is shaking really hard and my breathing is very hard because of all of this energy and the entities. Me. Oh, they're almost to the door. E. So, Michael, I just want to ensure that we have everything. So I'm going to ask Michael to send a pulse of blue light into his net. I'm going to ask for these entities may still be attached to this one. Please release them. I feel something very good, not from the right, but from the left. Can I speak to the entity on the right? Will the entity speak to me today, please? My body stops shaking and I become very still. The entity, a very deep voice comes through. I am at the door. I am at the door. E. You are encased in Michael's net. Michael is going to help you both to return to the light, and there's nothing to fear. In my mind's eye, I am scanning. The deep voice comes through again. I don't see the doctor. Oh, that doctor. You must understand that I do not know this world in which you say is light. I was with that doctor's soul, well, for so long, the doctor like a grim reaper, but I feel like, I don't know, I hear singing. E. Yes, and you always will, which I have never heard such singing, and the singing is welcoming, and I would like to explore it. Very good. Go. I can't explain it because I don't know. I have never experienced it. But something deep down inside knows. It feels. It's a frequency of the singing. It is uplifting, and I don't remember feeling uplifted. Because you have been tricked. You yourself have been lied to, and you have not been told the truth. You have been made to believe that this is the only way that you can exist, by taking on other people's energy and being attached. And that is not the truth. And we're here to help you, to show you today. So, if I go to the singing, then that is what I will feel. Yes, because you have your own light. You have your own light and your own power, and you don't need to be attached to anybody to live or to survive. You have been lied to. The light is returning, and that is why this is happening at the moment. There's so much light coming in from everybody, and everyone is remembering their light. So, I won't evaporate. I won't evaporate, will I? No, because you are light. You are light. You are part of the true light. Emma continues to explain to them. My hands are flickering back and forth in front of my face at this time because I could tell that the entities were starting to change form. So I say very loudly, they're changing. Their appearance is changing. They notice they are changing. I feel the tentacles are changing form because I don't know how to explain it. E. They are growing with the light. Their choice has been made. Oh, they're not ugly anymore. They're both at the door and they are looking at me. Is there anything that they would like to say before I get Michael to escort them back? There's nothing. I start rubbing my arms and my hands, and I just kept saying, they're changing. E calls upon the Archangel Michael at this time, and he escorts the entities to the light. My daughter speaks now. For the listeners, we do not wish for them to misunderstand this message and think that it is okay to have an abortion, because an abortion will help the soul have an experience. That is not the case. Abortions are doing far greater damage than we realize. Look what happened to this one, Teresa, throughout a 40-year span. We have to dismantle this 3D reality. This type of procedure will not be going into the fifth density. These entities attaching themselves through these abortions cannot go to the new earth. They must be released into the light. The humans are now using abortions as a birth control mechanism. We are here to stop this. The so-called my body, my rights is merely a polarized energy destroying mankind. E. She asked the baby, does the baby need any help going to the light? My daughter explains, she is not stuck. She had an agreement. She had her experience. And due to the love that I had for her, she visits me from time to time like any other deceased loved one. Days after the session, my guide had a conversation with me regarding all of the negativity around the so-called women's rights. There is a certain amount of compassion regarding rape or incest pregnancies. If a mother's life is at stake, or if deformities are developed on the fetus, then hence the choice to abort. But as always, humans blow everything out of proportions. Humans do not understand the sacred space of a woman's vagina and uterus, how they are opening themselves up to attacks by entities through this sacred space. It could only be from the doctor or a nurse or anyone that sticks a needle in your arm to give you an IV during this type of procedure. My guide explained even a woman that is put to sleep with anesthesia and cannot feel the pain or trauma, the child being aborted feels the trauma, and entities can come through the vagina and uterus just the same because it is barbaric. It is a blood sacrifice. Entities can also enter through sexual trauma, both male or female. The humans fighting so hard for the women's rights to abort are more than likely being manipulated by an attached entity that is controlling their thought process, or through AI manipulation. Quantum healing hypnosis techniques can also help remove, shut down, or block AI negative influences. You can be the sweetest person on earth and still have them attached. Don't think that you're free from them. I am so grateful that my guide brought them to my attention. It does not matter whether or not you agree with me, you have a choice. You can continue to believe you are fighting for women's rights, or you can start helping to fight for the right to protect these infants, which will weaken the entities from attaching themselves to humans and stop this 3D reality. Abortions have no place in our ascension. It is best to learn better birth control mechanisms. We must gain control over our bodies and become stronger to prevent unwanted pregnancies. We must protect our sacred uterus. It is a portal for life, not a gateway for dark forces. As we continue to dismantle this barbaric procedure in the future for the rape or incest victims that choose to terminate a pregnancy, or for the mothers whose lives are at stake, or if an infant has deformities and it will not survive, there will be certain spiritual techniques to assist the infant during the transition of the abortion. The infant will be put to sleep and will not feel pain. A sacred ceremony and ritual will be performed to protect all individuals from entity attachments before the procedure begins. Eventually, we will move away from all negativity, sexual trauma, rape, deformities, and harm that may occur to the mother's health. My daughter, who I wanted so badly but was forced to have an abortion, she deserves a name, Kelly Nicole, and so it is.